All right, welcome back, everybody. Make sure you watched the previous video first before you watch this one, because we're going to be using the conversions that we did in the other video in order to answer this question. So let's jump right in. We're going to talk about sales tax and tip. So when you go to a restaurant or when you get something delivered, there's always a sales tax and there's always a tip, okay? So your sales tax is something that is charged by everybody. Every state has its own sales tax. Maryland has 6%. So every state has a sales tax that goes towards, they take the tax that you pay on whatever item you've purchased. They take that tax and they add it to like a big pot. We'll just call it a big pot. And that big pot of money pays for different types of programs, like things with our schools. The tip is something you give the person who gave you the food or who delivered the item, because a lot of people work on tips only. So the money that they earn is money you give them for, okay, you did a good job. Thank you for giving me my food. Here's a tip. That's what sales tax and that's what tips are in their basic forms. So when we're looking at a word problem, you know, we've always used cubes. So I'm going to circle all my numbers because those are the numbers I'm looking at. And I'm going to underline my question. Okay? So with the operational words, we're going to use the word and. And actually we're going to use sales tax because that is something that's going to tell us what to do. And tip. I want to use all of those. So let's start breaking down our problem. How much was the total amount of the food? The total amount of the food was $22. So 22 was how much our food cost. Then you're going to look at what your percentage is for your sales tax. So my sales tax is 6%. That's my sales tax. When we say the word and, we'll start with sales tax. So this times this, 22 times 6%. And then I'm also going to need to know what my tip is going to be. So right here is my sales tax. And then right here and here, that's my tip. Now where did I get that plus sign from? Remember the word and? We're adding. So I'm multiplying this times this, and I'm multiplying this times this, and I'm adding it together to find out what the total cost of my meal was. So if I do 22 times 6, because remember in the conversion video, we know how to go from a percent to a decimal, plus 22 times 15%, which is 1,500. Then I just need to do my calculations. 22 times 6/10 should be, what do I have? I don't have my calculator. $1.32. Plus 22 times 1,500 should be $3.30. So then I'm going to take this and I'm going to add these two numbers together. So we have 0 and 2, which is 2. We have 3 and 3, which is 6. And I keep my decimal. We have 3 and 1, which is 4. So I need to take this number and add it to the amount of what my bill was. So I'm going to say this amount here plus $22. Because this was my original amount of how much it cost me to get my food. This is the sales tax in addition to my tip. So you should end up with $26.62 as your final answer. So if you need to take a picture of this, you can take a picture of it. I'm only doing this one in this video. On the graphic organizer / notes that I'm giving you, there is an example in there for you to try on your own before you attempt the assignment. Please, please, please try this on your own first and then start the assignment. There's only one problem for you to try. Just see if you can follow along with what I did. What I did here is also in the notes, except for the circling, the boxing, and the underlining, because I was unable to add that to the document. But you can take a picture of this. You can pause it, take a picture. You can also go into your regular notes. All right. So if you have any questions about sales tax and tip, you can ask me via Google Classroom, or you can email me the question. You can ask Ms. Bass the question. You can ask Ms. Cox the question. Okay? And I will see you guys in the next video.